Hey guys, welcome back to Small Bits of Happiness YouTube channel.
Today we're going to talk about the whys of self-pity. It's normal to feel sorry for yourself, but if you do it ongoingly, it can be quite self-destructive. I also get these thoughts inside my head. Why is this happening to me? What did I do to deserve this? Why does nobody else experiencing this? Do any of these sound familiar to you? These are the topics that we're going to be covering in today's video. This video is not created by medical professionals. It's made for teens by teens. It is not an attempt to address depression or any other diagnosis. We are simply sharing our thoughts and tips on how to ease the self-pity most teens and kids experience. Sometimes we can create so many of these thoughts that mentally we just get stuck. We have a very hard time overcoming these problems.
So today we're going to be giving you some tips and strategies that have worked for us in these situations, so we can help make that voice go away and move forward. When we are thinking about everything that's going wrong and how unfair life is to us, we place ourselves in the seat of the victim, telling ourselves and sometimes others how unfair the world is to us. But we need to become the drivers of our lives.
So how do we get rid of these why questions? We question them back. One of the simplest ways is to face the problem head on. For example, whenever I get a bad mark on a test, I start feeling sorry for myself and making excuses. How do you feel when you get a bad mark on a test?
I usually feel like I want to cry. I question myself and think, what do I do to deserve this mark? And I just feel like I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, I tell myself the same thing. I'm like, it's not my fault. The teacher just didn't teach me it right. Or it's not my fault the other kids are so much smarter than me. Like, that's not my fault.
It feels good to take the blame off yourself and place it on someone else, but that only drives self-pity. What we need to do is take account of our own actions. It's okay to feel bad for getting a bad mark, but we need to own it and stop blaming others and take ownership. We also need to figure out what we need to do better next time. Maybe we need to ask more questions during class, or come before school starts to ask some questions, or after. When facing these types of thoughts, try not to give in. In this particular example, you could respond to yourself with, 1, I'll study harder next time, or 2, I'll learn from the situation. Realistically, it's the only way to grow as a person. We must take back control and not let self-pity take over our life.
When we feel sorry for ourselves, we often forget all the good things that we have in life. It's funny how the mantra that we talked about a few episodes ago, perception is everything, really is so true. If we choose to only see things negatively, then that's the only way that we will see things, and we'll think that they only have a negative effect. But if we choose to see things with a positive effect, then they really will have a benefit to our life, and we won't slip into the vicious self-pity cycle. When you're feeling down, ask yourself, are my feelings really representing reality? Recognizing and learning to identify gratitude leaves less room in our heart and our mind for negative thinking. Let's just see a bigger picture of life.
Most of the time, self-pity can make us feel quite lonely and sad because we think that we're the only ones dealing with a problem. Remembering that we're not the only ones dealing with issues can provide us with comfort and make us feel less alone. Remember, everybody's going through challenges, such as they or someone they love is sick, or they are dealing with abuse or other issues. However, many just often don't talk about it.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I have done the same thing in the past. I've even had to stop being friends with people and just not tell them why, because I'm dealing with something personal. It has nothing to do with them, but just I need my own space and time to figure out what's happening in my life, and that doesn't mean telling others about it, because that can sometimes get worse and harder for you.
By trying to take control of the situation, even just a bit, you're releasing yourself from self-loathing feelings, living with a clearer outlook on life.
Like we said before, it's important to acknowledge our feelings, but spending too much time thinking about ourselves and about our feelings can also not be too good. Let's take control over our life and figure out another way to solve the problem. Maybe we need to study more at home, which is not fun, but it definitely helps getting your marks up. Maybe we need to ask for help if we need it, and change our habits and get some more sleep, or spend less time on electronics and more time on school. Not a lot of extra time, but just even a little bit, it helps. It's in our hands to take control, identify the problem, and find a constructive solution. We are empowered. When we help others who are less fortunate, we have less time to feel bad for ourselves. This often is actually pretty fun. It's really fun. It makes you feel really good. And it can help take your mind away from all the issues that you're going through. For example, at Christmas time, a few friends and I put together Christmas bags with essential things for homeless women, like hats and gloves, hand sanitizers, toothpaste and toothbrush, etc. Not only did this make my friends and I feel really good, also had a great time spending time together. It really made us all feel so good to give back to people who need it. And while we were doing that, we just had a great time together and we did not think about the other problems going on in our lives.
Sometimes life throws curveballs at us and things are bleak, like parents getting sick, grandparents dying, and stuff like that. But through it all, we must keep an aspect of positivity, that life must go on once again, and we will experience joy and happiness again. We just have to be open to it. My grandmother lost the love of her life 4 years ago, and although she misses him so much, she still enjoys spending time with us and enjoys living. I know that this has been a lot of information, and I hope you got good tips. We steer cheer for little bits of happiness, but when we dwell on how terrible some things are and don't see the good things, we definitely cut out the possibility to feel joy and happiness.
It's really important to let ourselves feel all our feelings. It's not good to just say, no, I'm not gonna let myself cry. No, I'm not gonna let myself feel any stress or any sadness. That's also not good. We need to learn to teach our brains, think and practice these emotions, and find actions to find solutions, and to allow us to see the bigger picture. This way, we'll grow to become an even better version of ourselves. This workshop is almost done, which is very sad but exciting. Stay tuned for next week. The final episode of this workshop is coming out, which is going to be a little quick summary of everything we've learned.
Make sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and click the notification bell.
Be sure to check out all of our social medias linked below, and also our website, which is on the screen here now, and also linked below.
Sign up for our newsletter, which you can do by clicking the link below.
Bye!